The arrival of alien students. In a faraway galaxy, there was a special place known as the Galactic Academy. This academy was famous for teaching students from many different planets. It was a place where cultures mixed and new ideas were born. The academy was located on a beautiful blue and green planet called Earth, known for its rich history and diverse life forms. On a sunny morning, the academy buzzed with excitement. Today was the day when alien students would arrive. They were coming to learn about human skills, especially in medicine and survival. Teachers and students from Earth waited eagerly at the landing zone. Bright banners fluttered in the breeze, welcoming the newcomers. As the spaceship descended from the sky, its sleek silver body shimmered in the sunlight. The spaceship landed softly on the grass, making a gentle thud. A crowd gathered, filled with curious humans who wanted to see the alien visitors. Everyone was eager to greet the new students and show them around. The spaceship's door opened, and a ramp extended down to the ground. One by one, the alien students stepped out. They looked very different from humans. Some had bright green skin, others had shimmering scales, and a few had soft fur. Each one was unique, showcasing the beauty of diversity in the galaxy. Zara, a curious alien with long, flowing tentacles, was the first to speak. "This place is amazing," she exclaimed, her eyes wide with wonder. She looked at the humans around her, fascinated by their different hairstyles and clothes. Next to her was Kranth, a tall and muscular alien with a tough exterior. He folded his arms and raised an eyebrow. "I hope they can teach us something useful," he said, sounding skeptical. Kranth came from a warrior planet where advanced technology ruled. He believed that humans were far behind in skills and knowledge. The human students smiled and waved at the newcomers. One of them, a young girl named Mia, stepped forward. "Welcome to Earth. We are excited to have you here," she said cheerfully. As the alien students looked around, they could see the beauty of the Earth. Trees lined the landing zone, and colorful flowers bloomed everywhere. The sky was a clear blue, and birds chirped happily. It was a sight many of the aliens had never seen before. Mia led the group to a large hall where their classes would be held. The hall was decorated with posters showing different human achievements, like medical advancements and survival skills. "This is where we will learn together," she explained. As they entered the hall, the alien students gasped. The room was filled with human students, all excited to meet them. The humans had prepared fun activities to help everyone get to know each other. Zara, filled with enthusiasm, said, "I can't wait to learn how to help others." She was eager to understand human medicine and wanted to see if it was as advanced as the technology on her planet. Kranth, on the other hand, remained cautious. "We will see if these humans can truly teach us," he said quietly. His heart was heavy with doubt. He had always been taught that aliens were superior in knowledge and skills. The humans began to introduce themselves. "I'm Tom, and I love sports," said a tall boy with messy hair. "I'm excited to show you how we handle injuries during games." Another girl named Leela chimed in, "And I'm really into science. I want to learn about your planets and how your medicine works." As the introductions continued, Zara felt a sense of belonging. The humans were friendly and welcoming, making her feel at home. Kranth, however, was still unconvinced. He observed the humans closely, trying to find flaws in their approach. After the introductions, the teachers gathered the students to explain what they would be learning. "In this program, we will focus on first aid techniques," one teacher said. "These skills can save lives and are essential for everyone, no matter where you come from." The alien students looked at each other. Zara was thrilled. "This is exactly what I wanted to learn," she exclaimed. Kranth frowned. "First aid. That seems simple," he muttered. "What can humans teach us about real medicine?" He was not yet ready to embrace this new knowledge. The teachers smiled, noticing the mixed reactions from the alien students. They knew that overcoming skepticism would be part of the learning journey. As the day went on, the alien students toured the academy, exploring laboratories and classrooms filled with interesting equipment. They learned about human anatomy and the basics of first aid. Zara couldn't contain her excitement. She eagerly asked questions, wanting to know how humans treated injuries. Kranth, however, remained silent, still feeling superior. The sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the academy. The students gathered for a final group meeting of the day. The teachers encouraged everyone to share their thoughts. Zara spoke up first. "I am excited to learn from you all. This place is amazing, and I can't wait to see what we will accomplish together." Kranth hesitated before speaking. He wanted to voice his doubts, but something in him felt different. Perhaps these humans had something valuable to teach. As they looked at each other, the alien students realized that they were all on this journey together. Despite their differences, they shared a common goal: to learn and grow. And so, with a mix of curiosity and skepticism, the alien students prepared for their first lessons. They knew that the days ahead would challenge their beliefs and change their perspectives. Little did they know that this journey would lead to remarkable discoveries about humanity and themselves. First Aid Basics. The next day at the Galactic Academy dawned bright and hopeful. The alien students gathered in the main hall, their hearts racing with anticipation. Zara could hardly sit still, her excitement bubbling over. Kranth, however, sat quietly, his expression serious and contemplative. He was still unsure about the value of what they were about to learn. The first class of the day focused on basic first aid techniques. The humans had set up several stations where students could practice different skills. Bright posters hung on the walls, displaying steps for treating wounds, performing CPR, and recognizing signs of shock. The atmosphere buzzed with energy as students prepared for the lesson. "Welcome, everyone," shouted Mia, her cheerful voice echoing through the hall. "Today we're going to learn how to save lives. First, we'll talk about how to treat cuts and scrapes." Zora's eyes sparkled with interest. "I've seen cuts treated on my planet, but I want to know how humans do it," she exclaimed. She couldn't wait to dive in. Kranth, still skeptical, crossed his arms and leaned back in his chair. "This is basic stuff. We already know how to handle wounds," he said quietly, not wanting to dampen the excitement around him. Mia led the class to the first station, where a human instructor demonstrated how to clean a wound properly. "First, you wash your hands to avoid infection," the instructor explained. The students watched closely, fascinated by the simple yet effective method. "Then, you clean the wound gently with soap and water," the instructor continued. "Next, you apply a bandage to keep it safe." As the instructor spoke, he showed them each step clearly, making it easy for the alien students to follow along. Zara eagerly picked up a bandage and a small cutout of a human arm. "Can I try?" she asked, her voice filled with eagerness. The instructor nodded, smiling as Zara carefully practiced cleaning the wound and applying the bandage. Kranth watched with a raised eyebrow. "Is that really all there is to it?" he thought, still doubting the importance of these lessons, but he could see Zara's enthusiasm, and it stirred a flicker of curiosity in him. As the lesson progressed, students rotated through different stations, learning to treat various injuries. They practiced using ice packs for swelling, learned how to elevate injuries, and even tried their hand at performing CPR on dummies. Laughter filled the room as some of the aliens struggled with the techniques, but everyone was having fun. When it was Kranth's turn at the CPR station, he felt a wave of determination wash over him. He approached the dummy and placed his hands on its chest. "Okay, let's see what this is about," he muttered under his breath. The human instructor guided him through the steps, and surprisingly, Kranth found himself focused and engaged. "Push hard and fast," the instructor instructed. "This can save a life." Kranth pushed down with force, feeling a sense of empowerment. Perhaps this wasn't as simple as he thought. Zara watched him with admiration. "You're doing great, Kranth," she encouraged, her voice bright with enthusiasm. Kranth felt a small pride swell in his chest at her words. As the class continued, they learned about recognizing signs of shock. The instructor explained how to identify symptoms like pale skin, rapid heartbeat, and confusion. Knowing how to act in these situations can save someone's life, he said earnestly. The aliens took notes diligently, realizing the value of this knowledge. Kranth, still skeptical, felt something shift within him. Maybe humans had more to teach than he had initially believed. At the end of the day, the students gathered to share their thoughts. Zara couldn't contain her excitement. "I learned so much today. I didn't realize how important these basic skills are," she exclaimed. Kranth finally spoke up. "I admit it was more challenging than I expected. I never thought first aid could be so impactful," he said slowly. Mia beamed at him. "Exactly. These skills can make a real difference. Imagine saving someone's life with just a few simple techniques." The aliens nodded, feeling a sense of unity. They realized that they were all learning together, regardless of their backgrounds. As the sun began to set, the group sat outside under the glowing stars, reflecting on their day. Zara felt grateful for the opportunity to learn alongside her new friends. Kranth, too, began to feel a sense of camaraderie. "Maybe this journey will change how we view each other," he thought, a spark of hope igniting within him. The aliens shared stories of their homeworlds, their challenges, and their dreams. Through laughter and learning, they were beginning to bond. This journey into humanity's world had just begun, and they were eager to discover more. Little did they know, the lessons ahead would challenge their perspectives and strengthen their friendships even further. The first real challenge. The following day brought a new challenge for the alien students. They gathered in the training hall, excited but nervous about what they would face. The atmosphere buzzed with anticipation as they wondered what practical exercise the instructors had planned. Maya stepped forward with a bright smile, ready to reveal the day's lesson. "Today, we will test your first aid skills in a simulated emergency situation," she announced. "You will work in teams to save a patient in need. This exercise will help you apply what you learned yesterday." The students exchanged glances filled with both excitement and apprehension. Zara could hardly contain her enthusiasm. "This is going to be amazing," she said, bouncing on her feet. Kranth, on the other hand, felt a knot in his stomach. The idea of a simulation felt daunting. Mia divided the students into teams, pairing humans with aliens to encourage cooperation. Zara teamed up with Kranth, while other pairs formed around the room. Mia explained the rules. Each team would face a scenario where they had to assess a patient's condition, administer first aid, and make critical decisions under pressure. "Remember, teamwork is essential," Mia emphasized. "Trust each other and communicate effectively. This will help you succeed." The students nodded, but Kranth still felt unsure. "What if I freeze up?" he thought, a wave of anxiety washing over him. Zara noticed his hesitation and placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "We'll do great together, Kranth. Just remember what we learned." As they prepared for their first scenario, Mia shouted, "Let the simulations begin." The room filled with sounds of excitement and urgency. Zara and Kranth rushed to their designated area, where a human instructor lay on the floor, pretending to be injured. He groaned softly, and the sight sent Zara's heart racing. "Okay, we can do this," she said, her voice firm. Kranth took a deep breath, feeling the adrenaline kick in. "Let's check his condition," he replied. They knelt beside the patient and assessed his injuries. Zara checked for any visible wounds while Kranth focused on the instructor's breathing. "He seems to be breathing okay, but he looks pale," Zara observed. "We need to call for help." Kranth shook his head. "No, we can't leave him. Let's apply first aid first, then we can call for help." "Right. We need to treat any injuries," Zara agreed. They worked quickly, using the skills they had learned just the day before. Zara cleaned a cut on the instructor's arm, while Kranth kept an eye on his breathing and pulse. Just as they began to feel more confident, the instructor suddenly began to gasp dramatically. "I'm going into shock," he exclaimed, clutching his chest. Zara's eyes widened. "What do we do?" Krantz felt panic rising within him, but he remembered the lesson about shock. "We need to elevate his legs and keep him calm," he instructed, trying to sound confident. Zara nodded and quickly lifted the instructor's legs, while Krantz spoke to him. "Stay with us. You're going to be okay." Mia watched closely, observing their teamwork. "Great job staying focused," she called out. "Now remember to keep him warm. Use a blanket if you have one." Zara quickly grabbed a nearby blanket, covering the instructor. "You'll be all right," she reassured him, trying to sound soothing. As they worked, Krantz found his worries fading. "We can do this," he thought, his determination growing. "We're saving a life." After a few tense moments, the instructor sat up, a smile on his face. "Well done, team. You managed the situation well." Zara and Krantz exchanged glances, their hearts racing with pride and relief. "I can't believe we did it," Zara exclaimed, her excitement bubbling over. Krantz grinned. "I actually enjoyed that. It felt important." The next team stepped up, and the simulation continued, each group facing their challenges with varying degrees of success. Some stumbled, while others soared, but everyone learned valuable lessons. The room buzzed with energy as students discussed their experiences after each simulation. At the end of the day, the students gathered again, eager to share what they had learned. Zara beamed as she recounted their success, while Krantz felt a newfound sense of confidence. "I realized I can handle pressure," Krantz admitted. "I didn't freeze up like I thought I would." Zara nodded. "We were a great team. It felt amazing to save someone, even in a simulation." As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the academy, the students felt a sense of camaraderie growing among them. They were no longer just individuals from different planets. They were becoming friends and allies. Mia approached, proud of their progress. "You all did incredibly well today. This is just the beginning of what you will learn. Remember, these skills can make a real difference in someone's life." With the day behind them, the alien students began to see the value of the training. They understood that being part of this journey was not just about learning first aid. It was about building connections and understanding each other's cultures. As they returned to their dorms, Krantz and Zara walked side by side, their hearts light. "I'm glad I took this chance," Krantz said, a genuine smile on his face. "I never expected to feel this way about first aid." Zara grinned back at him. "Me too. I can't wait for tomorrow's lessons." Little did they know that the challenges ahead would push their skills, courage, and friendship to new limits. But for now, they savored the moment, looking forward to what was yet to come. The life-saving challenge. The next morning, the atmosphere in the training hall felt charged with energy and excitement. The alien students arrived early, eager to discover what Mia had in store for them. Zara and Krantz entered together, exchanging stories about their favorite moments from the previous day's training. They had felt a surge of confidence and camaraderie, and both were eager to build on that momentum. Mia greeted them with a warm smile. "Good morning, everyone. Today, we will face a life-saving challenge that will put your first aid skills to the test. You will work in teams again, but this time, we will simulate a more intense emergency scenario. Are you ready?" The students nodded eagerly, a mix of excitement and apprehension filling the air. Mia continued, "In this exercise, you will encounter an unexpected situation where someone requires immediate help. The key is to stay calm and work together. You will have limited time to make decisions and execute your first aid skills." Zara felt her heart race. "This is going to be intense," she whispered to Krantz. He nodded, his expression reflecting both determination and a bit of anxiety. After dividing the students into new teams, Mia explained the rules for the challenge. Each team will receive a scenario and a time limit. You will need to assess the situation, administer first aid, and communicate effectively. Remember, every second counts. Once the teams were ready, Mia handed out the scenario cards. Each card described a unique emergency situation, and the students were instructed to read their cards silently and prepare for the simulation. As Zara and Kranth opened their card, their eyes widened in shock. Their scenario involved a simulated explosion in a crowded area, leaving multiple injured students needing urgent medical attention. "This is serious," Kranth said, his voice low. "We have to help everyone quickly." Zara took a deep breath. "Let's not panic. We need to divide the tasks and make sure we cover all the patients." The countdown began, and the tension in the room rose. "Ready, set, go," Mia called out, and the teams sprang into action. Zara and Kranth dashed to the center of their designated area, where several fellow students lay on the ground, pretending to be hurt. Some were clutching their limbs, while others appeared dazed. "Okay, I'll check this one," Zara said, kneeling next to a classmate who was role-playing an injured person. "How are you feeling?" "I can't move my leg." The student groaned dramatically. "Stay calm. I'll assess the situation," Zara replied, recalling the techniques they had learned. Meanwhile, Kranth moved to another injured student who was pretending to hold his chest. Kranth felt a rush of determination. "Can you breathe?" he asked, checking for any visible signs of distress. The student shook his head, pretending to struggle. Kranth remembered to stay calm and reassure him. "You're going to be okay. I'm here to help." With adrenaline pumping through his veins, Kranth checked for breathing and pulse, remembering the importance of remaining composed. "We need to roll him on his side to keep his airway clear," he said, gesturing to another teammate who had arrived to help. Zara worked quickly on her patient, examining the leg for any signs of injury. "It's not broken," she reassured, "but you need to keep it still. I'll apply a splint." She carefully positioned a makeshift splint and secured it with a bandage. Kranth continued to encourage his patient. "You're doing great. Just breathe in and out slowly." After ensuring that his patient was stable, Kranth turned to see how Zara was doing. As the time limit drew near, they both felt the pressure mounting. Zara's voice was steady, but her heart raced. "We need to assess the rest of the scene. Let's check for more injuries." Kranth nodded and moved with purpose, scanning the area. They worked seamlessly, quickly checking on the other students who were pretending to be injured. With each patient, they remembered their training and relied on teamwork. Just as they were about to complete their assessments, a loud alarm went off, signaling that time was running out. The atmosphere was charged with urgency. "We need to report back," Zara shouted, hurrying to gather their notes. Mia approached, observing the chaos with a proud smile. "Time's up, teams. Let's hear how you handled the situation." As they gathered to discuss their experiences, Zara felt a rush of accomplishment. She realized how far she had come in such a short time. Kranth stood beside her, beaming with pride. "Teamwork made all the difference," Kranth said. "We worked well together." Mia praised each team, highlighting their strengths and offering constructive feedback. "Great job, everyone. You all showed excellent teamwork and applied your skills under pressure. Remember, these situations can happen in real life, and it's essential to stay calm and focused." After the debriefing, Zara turned to Kranth, her eyes sparkling. "We did it. That was intense, but we really helped those students." Kranth nodded, his heart still racing. It felt so real. "I can't believe how much I learned today." As the students exited the training hall, they chatted excitedly about their experiences. The camaraderie between them grew stronger with each challenge, and they looked forward to their next lesson. With each passing day, Zara and Kran felt their confidence blooming. They realized that not only were they learning life-saving skills, but they were also forming friendships that transcended their differences. They were becoming a united team, ready to face any challenge together. As they left the academy that day, the sun setting on the horizon, they knew that they were not just students anymore. They were heroes in training, equipped to make a difference in the universe, and that thought filled them with hope and excitement for the adventures that lay ahead. You said, facing the fearsome challenge. The next day brought a different kind of energy to the academy. As Zara and Kranth arrived, they noticed that the training hall had been transformed. Instead of the usual setup, the room was filled with various obstacles, props, and even some dim lighting. It felt like a scene from a movie, filled with suspense and mystery. Maya stood at the front of the hall, her expression serious. "Good morning, everyone. Today, we will face a challenge designed to test not only your first aid skills, but also your ability to confront fear. This exercise is crucial because in emergencies, fear can cloud judgment." Zara exchanged a glance with Kranth, her heart pounding. "What does she mean by fear?" Kranth whispered, eyes wide with curiosity. "I guess we'll find out soon," Zora replied, trying to sound braver than she felt. Mia continued, "Today's exercise is called the Fearsome Challenge. You will each face a scenario that simulates a high-stress environment. Your task is to remain calm, apply your skills, and help those in need. Remember, it's not just about first aid. It's about overcoming fear and making quick decisions." The students listened intently, a mix of excitement and apprehension filling the air. Mia gestured to the back of the hall, where several areas were set up with props simulating various emergency situations. "You will work in pairs, and I will assign each of you a specific scenario. When it's your turn, you will enter the area, face the challenge, and assist your partner as needed. You will have a limited time to complete each exercise, so stay focused." Zara felt a mix of nerves and thrill. "I hope I can handle this," she said to Kranth, who nodded in agreement. Mia began to assign scenarios. "Zara and Kranth, you will start with the collapsed building scenario. You will enter a room filled with debris and injured victims. Remember, you must remain calm and act quickly." Zara's heart raced as she entered the dimly lit area. The room was filled with props that simulated a chaotic scene. "This is intense," she whispered to Kranth. As they moved deeper into the room, they found a victim lying on the ground, pretending to be unconscious. "I'll check the scene first," Kranth said, stepping forward cautiously. He knelt beside the victim, assessing the situation. "Can you hear me?" he asked, shaking the student gently. The victim groaned softly but didn't respond. Zara felt a rush of adrenaline. "We need to check for breathing," she said, quickly moving beside Kranth. "Remember to keep an eye on our surroundings," Kranth reminded her. "There might be more injured nearby." Zara nodded, focusing on the victim. "I'll check their pulse while you assess breathing." She gently placed her fingers on the victim's wrist, feeling for a heartbeat. "They're alive, but we need to act fast." Just then, they heard a loud noise from behind them. It startled them, and Zara's heart raced. "What was that?" she whispered, feeling fear creeping in. "Stay focused," Kranth urged. "We can't let fear distract us." Zara took a deep breath, reminding herself of their training. "Let's keep going. We can do this." They moved to another area, where they found two more injured students. One was lying on the ground, moaning softly, while another appeared to be trapped under a prop that led debris. "Okay, I'll help the one trapped," Kranth said, rushing to the trapped student. He carefully lifted the prop, ensuring it was safe to do so. "Can you get up?" he asked, helping the student to their feet. "I think so," the student replied, wincing. Meanwhile, Zara rushed to the moaning student. "What happened?" she asked, checking for visible injuries. "Are you okay?" "My leg hurts." "I think it's hurt," the student replied, clutching their leg dramatically. Zara took a moment to assess the situation. "Let's take a look. I'll apply some first aid," she said, remembering the techniques they had practiced. As they worked together, Zara felt her fear slowly melting away. With every action, she grew more confident. "You're going to be fine," She reassured the injured student, applying a bandage. After a few minutes, the loud alarm signaled the end of their time. Mia entered the room, a look of admiration on her face. "Well done, Zara and Kranth. You managed to stay calm and effectively help your teammates despite the challenges." Zara felt a wave of relief wash over her. "That was harder than I expected, but we did it," she said, beaming with pride. Kranth nodded, still catching his breath. "It really pushed us, but I think we learned a lot." Mia gathered all the students for a debriefing. She praised their efforts and shared insights about overcoming fear in high-stress situations. In emergencies, fear can be overwhelming, but the key is to focus on the task at hand and support one another. "You all showed remarkable growth today." As they left the training hall, Zara felt a newfound sense of confidence. They had faced their fears, and together they had succeeded. The bonds between the students grew stronger with each challenge, and Zara looked forward to the adventures that lay ahead. Kranth walked beside her, a smile on his face. "I think we're ready for anything now," he said, his eyes shining with excitement. Zara laughed, feeling a sense of camaraderie. "Absolutely. We're becoming a team, and I can't wait for the next challenge." As they headed home that day, the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky with shades of orange and purple. They felt like warriors in training, prepared to face whatever challenges the galaxy had in store for them. And with every step, they knew they were one step closer to becoming heroes. A test of teamwork. The following day, excitement buzzed through the academy like electricity. Zara and Kranth were eager to see what new lessons awaited them. They met their classmates in the common area, where Maya stood ready to unveil the next challenge. "Today, we will focus on teamwork," Maya announced, her voice echoing against the walls. "You all did wonderfully in the last exercise, but remember, the best outcomes happen when we work together effectively. Today, you will face a challenge that requires all of you to collaborate." The students listened intently, and Zara felt a surge of anticipation. "I wonder what it will be this time," she said to Kranth, who looked equally curious. Mia continued, "You will form teams of 4, and each team will receive a unique scenario to resolve. Remember, every member has a role to play. Your goal is to solve the situation as a unit." Zara quickly teamed up with Kranth, Mia, and a new friend named Rena, a bright and energetic alien girl. Together, they formed a strong team, ready to tackle any challenge. As Mia assigned their scenario, Zara listened closely. "Your team will enter a simulation of a spaceship emergency. A sudden cabin pressure drop has caused panic among the passengers. You must calm everyone down, check for injuries, and ensure everyone is safe before exiting." Zara felt a flutter of nerves but pushed it aside. "Let's do this," she said, her determination rising. When they entered the simulation room, the atmosphere changed dramatically. Flickering lights and the sound of alarms created a tense environment. Zara felt her heart race as she surveyed the scene. Passengers, represented by props, were scattered about, some sitting in confusion, others pretending to be injured. "Okay, team," Kranth called out. "We need to stay calm. Zara, can you check on the passengers? Rena, you help me look for injuries. Mia, you can direct the others and help keep everyone calm." Zara nodded, quickly moving among the passengers. "Everyone, please stay calm. We're here to help," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. As she approached the first passenger, she noticed they were shaking. "Are you okay?" Zara asked, kneeling beside them. "Can you tell me what's wrong?" I can't breathe well," the student replied, acting panicked. "Take deep breaths with me," Zara said, demonstrating slow, deep breaths. After a moment, the student began to calm down. "Good. Just keep breathing like that. We're going to get you out of here." Meanwhile, Kranth and Rena worked together, checking on other passengers who seemed to be in distress. They guided them to a safe corner of the room. "Stay together, everyone," Rena encouraged, her voice cheerful despite the chaos. "Help is on the way." "You're doing great." Zara turned her attention to another passenger lying on the ground, pretending to be injured. "What happened?" she asked gently, checking for visible signs of injury. "I think I hurt my leg," the student said dramatically. "It hurts a lot." Zara knelt down, quickly assessing the situation. "Okay, I'm going to check it," she said, reaching for her bandage. "Can you tell me how it happened?" "There was a loud noise, and I fell," the student replied, still wincing. "Let's see what we can do." Zara wrapped the bandage around the injured leg, carefully applying pressure. "You'll be all right. We're getting everyone out of here soon." As she worked, Kranth rushed over. "Zara, we need to hurry. I just checked another passenger, and they're feeling faint. Let's help them together." Zara replied, quickly getting to her feet. Together, they approached the fainted student, who lay on the ground with their eyes closed. "Hey, can you hear us?" Kranth asked, shaking them gently. The student stirred, groaning softly. "I feel dizzy," they muttered. "Let's get them sitting up slowly," Rena suggested. "We need to check for any injuries." Zara nodded, and they all worked together, carefully helping the students sit upright. "Take deep breaths," Zara instructed. "You're going to be fine." After several minutes of teamwork and careful communication, Mia called for everyone to regroup. "Well done, team. You've successfully helped everyone in this scenario. Remember, teamwork is about listening and supporting each other. I'm proud of you." Zara felt a wave of relief wash over her. They had faced the challenge together, and it had strengthened their bond as a team. As they exited the simulation, Kranth turned to her, grinning. "I think we nailed that. Teamwork makes all the difference." Rena added, "Absolutely. We worked so well together." Zara felt a sense of accomplishment. "I'm glad we were all here. We couldn't have done it without each other." As they left the training hall, the sun shone brightly outside, a stark contrast to the tense environment they had just left. It felt like a new beginning, full of possibilities and adventures ahead. The students shared stories of their experiences and laughed together, each excited about the next challenge. Zara realized that each day brought them closer together, and every experience was shaping them into capable heroes. As they walked home, she felt grateful for her friends and the lessons they had learned. The galaxy was vast and unpredictable, but with their newfound skills and teamwork, she knew they could face whatever came next.